Hey there, it's Candice from Thunderbird Sky, and welcome back to the weekly angel card reading. It's the week we're doing the reading for doing the reading for the week of August 22nd, excuse me, to 28th. And I've already picked the cards just to kind of speed up this process a little bit, and we'll just get right into it. So, the first card that comes up for the week. Oh, by the way, I'm using the deck. I almost forgot to tell you. I'm using the deck. Haven't used this for a few weeks. Earth Magic by Stephen Farmer. It's another really cool deck that I like to use often for readings. So the first card that comes up is the Stone People. I think you can probably see it there more or less. And the word that kind of goes with it is vigilance. Vigilance. That's a good word. So basically, what I'm getting from this one, and just from kind of glancing at the book a little bit, we have these amazing kind of stone, almost like stone pillars, but they're just kind of rocks that are kind of jutting out of what looks to be like ocean or something like that, or what's left of an ocean, low tide or something. And there's something very stoic and very powerful about the images that's on this particular card. And what really jumps out from the image and the words that are kind of described in the book, and just sort of my own sense of things, is this is about really the words stand tall. The words, I've lost the word. Basically, being resolute. So being resolute in your actions, in your vision, in your clarity, in all the things you're wanting to do in your life, in ways that you want to be able to move forward and actually achieve your dreams and whatever it is that you have going on in your life. This is about really standing tall in that and really stepping forward and stepping out into whatever those dreams are that you have. There's a few things that kind of jump out of the book here that I really want to kind of highlight here. So the stone people stand in their ever-present visual along the shores of an ocean whose tide has receded, leaving the remnants of water upon which we can see them reflected. These solid beings suggest peace and calm. They exude power. What else here? So with practice, we can not only emulate these stone people, but also respect their ancientness and also their ancient wisdom that goes along with that. Relative absoluteness of strength. They stand tall, bearing the ragged lines. I'm going to skip the next little bit. Remaining vigilant at this time, but not out of fear. Vigilant simply means opening up to your mind and senses through information as it is presented to you, through all of your senses, intuitive and physical senses as well. Remaining especially true in these two main areas. Following gut feelings to tell you wary of someone or something. Second, pay close attention to an important opportunity for presence itself, one that may enhance your life and the lives of others. Maintain your vigilance. The clues around you and inside you. Assess what's emanating from your body. Basically what I get from that is this is about listening to your internal guidance, intuitive guidance, and really just standing tall in it and then moving forward with it, whether your own logic thinks it's crazy, whether your own logic thinks it's just, oh, this is out to lunch, or other people around you or anything like that. Just really kind of wholeheartedly believing in what you're getting and just sort of standing your ground and standing your truth in that. And also, this is what jumped out at me before I started recording was about kind of standing tall with the actions that you need to take in order to move forward. Last week we talked about actually doing the work that it takes, whether you feel like it or not, to actually manifest what it is you actually want in your life. And this is about getting really clear and getting almost like tough with yourself, not tough love kind of way, but just getting it done and just doing what needs to get done. That's kind of the feeling that I'm left with this particular card, is just doing what is necessary to get things done, and also trusting the magic side of things at the same time, and trusting your vision. So it's kind of ebb and flowing between those two, so you can actually manifest the things you actually want in your life. So now the next card here, Synergy, we've got the Green Man, and remember, excuse me, bronchitis is still kind of working its way on my lungs there. Just bear with me for one moment. So we've got the Green Man, which represents synergy. And if you look at the card, it's pretty cool. It's like this real kind of colorful garden. You can't really see the colors in there with this particular camera, and then the lighting that's in here. But everything in nature has a synergy to it. You know, water feeds, you know, into the ocean, and the rain feeds the ocean, and, you know, the plants feed off the water, and, you know, all of life just flows and is in sync. You know, when you talk about permaculture and things like that, everything fits into a particular place in nature. And when we're able to listen to our guidance and go with that process, everything falls into place. I'm going to see what it says here, a little more detail about this in the book. You have the advantage of incredible synergy at this time. The flow of life is guiding you. What I really get about this flow thing, that's another thing that jumps out the most, is falling into flow. Once we sort of set the stage of everything that's kind of precursed, all of everything that's led up to this particular week, you know, so letting go of our stuff, doing healing work, you know, constantly doing meditation, doing that work on yourself, and letting go of all the stuff that doesn't serve you and things like that. You know, we're able to fall into this kind of flow of just synergy, and everything just kind of happens just sort of on its own. But it's only because we sort of set the stage prior to this to be able to actually fall into that state of flow. You are in a mutually cooperative. Can't read today. You're in a mutually cooperative interaction with Spirit, as your will is aligned with the will of Spirit, if you're able to let go and let God, so to speak. If you don't do that step, then that synergy won't fall into place, as it's talking about here. Okay, so as your will is aligned with the will of Spirit, and your mission is congruent with your sense of purpose. So this really is about what I believe that everybody has a purpose and has something they came here to do, a mission, so to speak. And when you're in a flow of that and you're letting go of all the stuff that's getting in the way, just everything happens and it moves you forward, and it's like everything's in sync and you're aligned with Spirit, and everything just sort of falls into place easily, even though the ease didn't happen up to this point because there's been a lot of things going on, but that was part of the process as well. Important part of the process, I might add. When this is happening, there's a synergy, a way that your life force is continually coming to balance with the forces of nature. So we're no longer working against the forces of nature or Spirit or God or whatever you want to call it. We're actually in flow with it, and everything's falling into place beautifully, just like kind of like puzzle pieces. You know, divine timing. I absolutely believe in divine timing. There's also synergy between your spiritual awareness and your personal self, or ego, as you might want to call it. Know that your higher self is always looking out for your best interest in this cycle. Tune into that guidance, however it shows up, and you will find that you move through life with the greater ease. So, you know, I talk about this a lot in terms of like these readings and classes that I teach, where, you know, you really need to pay attention to those little intuitive nudgings. It's really important. And in order to do that, you have to be able to get quiet in order to be able to hear those messages. So if you can get quiet enough, you can hear those messages, you know, turn that little hamster brain off, as I like to call it, with a little spinning wheel of the hamster running around like as fast as you can, and the guides just can't get through all of that chaos and all that noise and all that go constantly. So if you can get quiet enough and do some contemplation and meditation, those little intuitive guidances will come through, and that you get more of that synergy coming in. So this is really about a phase of just trusting the universe, trusting your intuition, trusting yourself that everything's happening as it should, how it should, when it should. You know, all those little details. You don't need to worry about those little details because Spirit will take care of it. Next card, we got Wind. Wind is an interesting little beast because it can be everything from something that can take, you know, very stale, stagnant air and like create, you know, a breath of fresh air, so to speak, and allowing, you know, the energy to move and, you know, cooling a space off, all the way through to like hurricanes and tornadoes and like violent changes going on. But the bottom line, like in the native tradition, they consider wind to be a force of transformation and change. They call it the wind. We call it the winds of change for a reason. So with all this stuff that we've been going through, and this sometimes very often painful process that we've had to deal with lately, and letting go of some really some things that we really didn't need to hang on to, but took some time to let go of, the winds of change are afoot, so to speak. So just know that this is what's coming through. I'm just going to see if there's anything interesting that says talks about it in the book. Where is it? Okay, there we go. So what's the last paragraph is actually what's really jumping out at me. You know, my eyes just kind of went there. Now is the time for action. Engage in some activity to be fully present so that you forget about your surroundings and enter in that timeless, multidimensional experience of union with the focus of your creative attention. Wow. Okay, those are some powerful words. Basically, what that's talking about is, I mean, the only way to be completely present and engage with this process is you. It's that whole like letting go thing in terms like at a very like a much higher level where you're just as soon as you become aware of the moment, you're no longer in the moment. You're now observing the moment and you're outside of it. And you know, like those of you who are artists out there know that when you're deeply engaged in, you know, whether you're working on a piece of music or a painting or in my case a screenplay or working on a film project or whatever, any kind of creative process, you get so absorbed in the moment of it you don't even realize where or when you are. You lose track of time, and that's being in the complete moment and being completely present with what it is that you're doing when you're in that flow, or you know, you're connecting with people that you just have that really deep connection with. That time doesn't exist, space doesn't exist anymore, and that's when we stepped into that whole multidimensionality of how this world kind of works, and how, you know, that's another level of like stepping into the flow of things. So wind can help move things into that phase where like it forces us to kind of let go of all that crap so that we can just be in the moment. Let your physical body be active, movement alone. So wind always represents movement, so forward movement, just movement in general, just for the sake of just getting moved. You know, getting movement in your body, movement in your energy, movement in your emotions and your experiences and things like that. Whether it's by quietly dancing by yourself, hiking, going for a walk, playing Pokemon Go, you know, because it does get people out walking, and experiencing different things. I had to bring that up, sorry. I played it last night for the first time, so it was just sort of, I had to make a comment on that. But all of those things require to be present, and where that ties back to the wind side of things is, you know, it starts off the previous paragraph. You know, I think a lot of us have been feeling a lot of lethargy, and the wind, this energy of wind, can help move us out of that that stagnant energy, and you know, movement, physical movement or mental, emotional, spiritual movement. It helps us get out of that. So, and when we engage in those things that help movement, whether it's creatively speaking or physical movement or whatever, it helps us to be in that moment, so that, you know, all of those other things like the synergy and all the things that we're working towards and manifesting can actually come about. So, interesting reading. So, some definite contrast and tie-ins from the last few weeks and stuff like that. So, in any case, so if you do want to have any questions or comments about that, those cards, just feel free to comment below, and check us out at thunderbirdsci.com if you want to book a session or take some classes. If you're a business owner who wants to do some videos for your business, check out thunderbirdsci.ca, and we will see you next week for the next weekly card reading. Awesome. Have a great day, and cheers.